That's it.
Welcome back to the podcast.
That's exactly how you start a podcast when you haven't done one in what has it been, 2 months?
2 months?
Okay, 3 years? Would I go overboard that time?
Yeah, but 2 months is a little underboard.
I actually don't remember. That's how you know it's been long, is because I don't have a reference of time anymore.
The legs.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We got long legs up in here, and me and Jason are getting
Not
entangled.
a lot of space.
But we're back, whether you like it or not. Hopefully, I mean, you wouldn't be here.
Wait. There's a problem. It says the disk space remaining for recording is 286 hours and 42 minutes. Do you think we'll go over?
At first, I heard 2 hours. I just heard 2, and I thought you were going to stop there. And I was like, how long do you think this is going to be? I mean, I guess we've gone over 1 hour before, but not 2.
I only got 2 terabytes on this puppy, man. We're not going to make it.
Dude, we might need to get a loan from
Hey, well, that's a good point of
CIA
reference.
bank.
Last time we recorded, I didn't have a PC.
Oh, yeah.
It's been
Dude, yeah, dude, do you want to talk about your PC?
Our last one was... Wasn't the last one we did when the lockdown started? When the C word was the buzzword that we used?
I don't think that was the last one. The second to last one was I know it hasn't been a year, because the second to last one
No, of course it hasn't. But it's been at least 6 months, because it was back in March.
I was leading into that by saying I know, because the second to last one, I think, was when we were talking about your 17th birthday. Drat!
Well,
and you're still
yeah,
17.
it's probably been at least 5 or 6 months then. So, but that's not important. You just farted.
No, my chair, it's got a cushion and it absorbs air, and then you sit and it gradually comes out. See, I can do it infinitely. I can do it infinitely.
Okay, what are we talking about this afternoon night? Bro, the legs. Mind your business. Stop manspreading.
Jason.
Yeah?
You missed it. Maybe you could hear the sound of him manspreading, ironically.
I doubt it.
Jason.
It's like a small leather scoop.
How goes the YouTubes for you?
We're just jumping right into it?
Yes.
Can we defer that question?
Because there is no YouTube going on?
Oh, I just ripped another piece of leather off my chair.
Dude, stop.
And that's how it's going.
That's how it's going. I'm just curious, because part of the reason why I decided to have this happen now is because, I don't know. I feel like you need to make more YouTube content. And so now I'm making my YouTube content with you.
Good analysis.
How many videos have you made on your YouTube channel since you got your PC?
4? No. 1, 2, 3, 5. No. 4. No.
You're holding up the wrong number of fingers here, bro.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hand. I think 4. Anyways.
You're starting to do sign language. You're not even holding up numbers.
Not many,
anymore.
but, yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Because I think the first Curse Survival.
Jason, they're getting bored.
Yeah, I know. The first Curse
Follow
Survival,
your own
and the
advice.
second, then...
It's been so long.
Then the Weird Game of the Week, the Samurai Cooking, and then... then the one where I did on the Sonic Freeze Pops, and then the Among Us video, so that's 5. But that's not important. Yeah, I haven't uploaded in a while.
But dude, that's okay. You're starting to remind me of myself. You got ideas and you take them for granted, but you don't do them. So that's what this is. I'm the new Jason. Subscribe to me.
No, well, I don't know what... Here's the thing, and I realized this when I talked to some people, and I was always surprised by how wide of an audience I was able to pull on a channel that is primarily composed of gaming videos. But those wider audience people, especially the female demographic, which is typically less into gaming videos, all said that they preferred my videos like the Sonic Freeze Pops one. You know, the ones where it's more like commentary or reaction type of videos rather than gaming. But the thing is, there's obviously the bonus of a wider demographic.
You're not talking into the mic.
Well, it's already pointed towards me, and I'm watching myself, so I'm making sure I stay at a good volume. Though there's the benefit of the wider demographic, and then there's also the benefit of what I realized was I actually like editing those videos a lot. Like, I actually enjoy editing them.
But you don't enjoy recording them, apparently.
No, well, that's not what I meant. But gaming videos, I really don't enjoy editing that much. Mostly because of how much footage there is. I always, you play the game for a longer amount of time, so it's usually a longer recording session, then it's more footage, and also it's just less interesting to me. Maybe it's just because I like...
Go back to when I would edit Jason's videos.
One video, two videos. Maybe it's just like I looking at my face when I record. Maybe I'm narcissistic, but I mean, whatever whatever makes me like it. So I'm like, maybe I should do those because I like editing them more. There's a wider demographic. So that was my idea, but I'm not sure where to start, and I don't want to go all in on that and then have to go back to my old content because I, run out of ideas. So I'm kind of taking a little hiatus to figure things out right now.
Dude, you got so much going for you in terms of talent, though. I can't believe you need to take a hiatus.
But I think I got a bug bite because, half of my...
Dude, I have a mosquito bite on my hand, too. It went away. But it was right here, and I couldn't rest my hand on things.
My whole, my pinky and part of the side of my hand has been this weird almost numb kind of feeling. Not really numb, bad. But when I touch it, it feels all tingly.
Dude, I found a legit brown recluse spider crawling around and I killed it.
Wait, I didn't know those were a real thing.
Yes, they are. I don't think it was an actual brown recluse. I think it was of the recluse family. It looked very similar.
Those are in Terraria. I didn't know they were real bugs.
No, they're real bugs.
No, aren't they one of the most dangerous spiders?
In terms of how common they are, yes. They usually don't kill people, but their sting is bad.
I noticed that I have this little bump on my finger now, and I think that's what caused it. So I think something with venom got into my hand.
Jeez, dude.
So that's cool.
You need to see a doctor. Cautiously.
But, thanks for saying I have talent. I just don't have ideas.
There was actually a segue that you ruined with your whole bug bite thing.
I don't have ideas.
I don't have ideas. I was gonna say because you at least you have the guts to do all that and the motivation most of the time. It was I was too nervous and too scared to record the video that I posted just last week onto the podcast channel.
You what?
Yeah, I was waiting. I thought that was good. I thought that would fly right over your head because it looked like you weren't paying attention. Yeah, I uploaded another one of those videos where I talk about why there's no podcast today. Remember when I did one of those way back in the day?
Really? I did not see it on my feed.
Yeah, dude, I was waiting because I'm subscribed to the podcast channel on my Google account, and I was waiting for it to get recommended to me, and it never did. But I did eventually just watch it because it did show a little bubble over there saying someone new from your subscription.
Does this contain important information? I should watch it right now.
No, you don't have to. But after I clicked on it and watched it started recommending a ton of podcast channel videos to me. If you want to know what it is...
I think the first step here is rebranding ourselves.
Yes, definitely. That's what... By the way, this is an update video. Update video plus.
Whoa! They're clicking away.
No. Guys, the update is integrated seamlessly into the podcast.
That was so loud. You just got right into the microphone.
That's what they like. That's what they're here for.
That's not what they're here for.
They're here for loud ASMR. Look, I learned how. Guys, I learned how to talk.
Speak. It's called soft speaking.
Guys, I learned how to talk normal. Isn't that great? I can do it on command, but I still don't by default.
You've kept a pretty consistent volume so far.
Thanks. I think it's because I'm slightly nervous, and also because I haven't done this in a while.
I'll get all the updates out for you. That's it.
Nice. Dude, that's actually hilarious because in the video, in the video that I did, that I'm talking about, that I did last Tuesday, I said there's only one update, and that's, is this channel dead? Yes, but not for long. The whole video, in case you didn't know, was me poking fun at myself. I said a bunch of stuff like I'm a very ambitious person that was all tongue-in-cheek, not necessarily true, unless going by a very specific definition of that. And then I made fun of Jason for not wanting to do the podcast for me, even though it was basically my fault because I sprung it on him at the last minute.
No, well, I would have done it any other day, but that was I was having a terrible day, and I was not going to be in a good enough mood to do a podcast.
But I recorded it. Yeah, you sounded upset when I asked you. But I recorded it in the...
Yeah, I was just more upset because then Mom, and you partially, but mostly Mom, was trying to guilt trip me for not wanting to do it with you when it wasn't even going to be good if I did do it because I was not in a good state of mind.
Because I don't know how to work your tech, and also because I hate doing stuff in front of people, Obviously, there was no time there was no one in the house, but there was a time when it was just Dad when you were at your dentist appointment. And so I went up into the attic and recorded off of my computer microphone. And it was just a short video, just alluding to the fact that something else would be up on this channel. And I found it funny because I knew you wouldn't see it because I wasn't seeing it. And because everyone has already left this channel for sure. But hopefully not forever. But I remember back when I made the first video that I made without you, you like saw it pretty quick. You were like, you even said the thumbnail caught your attention, and you were like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah.
And then we talked about it on the next podcast.
Well, it probably didn't get recommended because I haven't uploaded in so long.
Yeah, that's definitely it. But hold on. You were supposed to sing a song during the break, Jason, so they wouldn't leave.
Oh, you didn't tell me that I was supposed to start singing.
Sing a song from your favorite band, Vampire Weekend.
This is from their unreleased EP.
He has insider access. He's going to be in one of their music videos.
Oh my goodness, do I get a allotted time slot to just talk about Vampire Weekend?
Dude, you can have that now if you want.
Can I really? While you collect your
honestly, because I was gonna bring up a topic where I just talk about how you don't...
Vampire Weekend is the best band. Okay, that was very loud.
It went so far into the bass.
It did. Vampire Weekend is officially my favorite band. I finally got around to... I've listened to some of their songs, a lot of the more popular ones. But I finally got around to last week listening to their... Or
last Vampire Week.
A couple weeks, I guess. Listening to their entire discography. So I've listened to every single song
they've made. How vast is it? How many songs?
Pretty large. I mean, they have 4 albums. And their recent album, Father of the Bride, is basically like 2 albums long. So, yeah. It's 18 songs, I think. Or 16? Plus the bonus tracks.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, that's hard to pick. Out of all of them, I wouldn't even be able to start because they have different genres. So I'd say, depending on the mood.
Jason's just hoping for another album because it's been long enough that it's been too long, but not so long that it's not
I
like
watched
they're
an interview and he was talking about, so there was 6 years apart between 2 of their albums, the 2019 recent album, and then before that it was 2013, I guess, 6 years. And he was talking about that in an interview about how, an average band if they're going on tour for an album, they might go on tour for, as long as 2 years. And then he said they might want to take a break for 2 years. And he said that might seem like a long time, but, some might go for a break for 2 years. And then it takes maybe 2 more years to actually complete the album, especially in their case, Father of the Bride, because it's like 2 albums in one. So I guess that was him explaining why it took so long. So yeah, I'm hoping that they come out with more music in not 6 years, but I'll probably be anxiously awaiting either way.
Beat them to it. Make your own album. Put out your own EP, bro. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. I know you wrote a song. And I know I wrote a song. We put them together. We got an album.
I wrote a song?
You said you did. Don't tell me you lied to me.
When?
You told me you were writing a song and you had out lyrics and you made some sort of melody. I think you said it was mostly lyrics, but then you're like, I'm gonna touch it up and see if I can do something with it. And I was like, okay, dude, I'll remember that. Dude, this is a thing you do. You say stuff so matter-of-factly and then I bring it up and you're like, what?
On various occasions throughout the years, I've wrote songs, so I'm just not sure which one this is. But anyway,
I talk all the time about how I've written songs and I just haven't done anything with them.
Vampire Weekend, indie pop / rock band. Fantastic band, my favorite band. They're the best thing about them, in my opinion, is the songwriting, the lyrics. Ezra is a fantastic songwriter. That's all I have to say about that.
Jason's simping
but
over him now.
Before I talk about Vampire Weekend for 5 minutes, it's been 4. Is that enough time?
Yeah, for your allotted slot.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going back to the video.
My hand is going number and number.
Dude, what if you pass out in the middle of the podcast?
That would be dope.
That would be, dude. We could clickbait the heck out of that.
It wouldn't be.
Pardon my language.
It wouldn't be clickbait.
Well, it would be bait. It
my
would just
brother
be,
passed out during a podcast. Watch now.
No, what is the thing they say?
Podcast gone wrong, gone deadly, gone outy.
No. What is the thing that I put in parentheses? It's for real, not joking. What is it? What's
real, seriously, actually happened.
Put a bunch of red circles and arrows in the phone. Just you're laying on the
yeah,
floor.
That's what, you just
and
take
you
a
just put
picture of
circle
me.
around.
You take a picture of my passed out body and
Yeah.
just draw a circle around it.
But dude, that video, the what are you looking at?
I was looking at my PC because it looked like you got a little spittle droplet on the chassis. And I have to make sure that the chassis is clean.
Dude, this is actually this would be a good segue, but unfortunately I had to finish up another topic.
Just kidding, guys. It's pronounced chassis.
You've actually accidentally provided two good segues that I can't get into yet.
We'll get on with it.
I was gonna say it's the video that I put on, the one where I was talking about how we wouldn't do a podcast with me. The one who goes the chosen one who goes by the username of G-Man. Is that someone you know personally?
Yes, it's Gavin.
Okay, that's who I thought. He commented below that. He's the only comment since I last checked. He said, just tie up Jason and beat him until he does a podcast. Well, technically there was another comment.
That's what happened.
Technically there was another comment. It was a generic female name, and the picture was a naked woman covering up her bare breasts, and she said, I'm single, sad emoji. So I went onto the channel, I removed that comment because it's trying to get people to download a virus, surely. I thought only
No, it was a real woman.
Dude, I thought only popular.
Yeah, no, that's how
YouTubers
you know
got
you
that.
made it. That's how you know you made it.
Dude,
You got the naked woman.
There were like 2 views at the time. How is that making it?
I don't know why the bots targeted
I don't
the
know.
least popular video on the
Maybe now
internet.
they're just doing it where is there like a way you can get into YouTube and just like get into the flow of most recent videos and just go through them randomly?
Maybe. Well, there's that website with where you can watch a video with no views.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it must be possible somehow. I guess that's how they do it.
But dude, I was like, I gotta get rid of this. I had to protect G-Man. He might have clicked on it out of desperation. Shade.
He'll appreciate that one if he's listening.
I'm sure he will.
Shout out to you, Gavin.
Dude, I went out. He was there. He's a pinned comment on like our first podcast. I think he's our number 1 podcast fan.
Probably. He's my number 1 fan.
Yeah, shout out to you, Gavin. We notice you.
I mean, no, I said that backwards. I'm your number 1 fan, Gavin. You might be my number 1 fan too. Who knows?
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, dude, I found Benson through one of the like comment sections, and I found your dumb school project video on his thing. It's the only video he has on his channel. I gave it a like.
Oh, he uploaded it to his YouTube?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's hilarious. But now, going into things that you've given me good segues for. Just by going off topic like 7 times, you give me a good segue for the fact that having gone back and watched several of our podcasts, I think they're entertaining in the wrong way.
Entertaining to a fault. They're too exciting.
Too entertaining. No, but you know, I talked about this once on the podcast before about like so bad it's good stuff. They're not all like that. I don't think I'd say any podcast is all the way through, like consistently just normal podcast good material. But like a lot of them are almost consistently like just an entertaining train wreck, you know?
Well, I think that's what we're going for.
Yeah, I honestly, if we keep doing podcasts...
We're not like Joe Rogan. We're not trying to talk about serious stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to.
People.
We don't want to. But like even like not even the stuff we talk about, but the way we talk about it, the way we meander around it, and the stupid stuff we say, like, I think my hand's gonna fall off. I got bit by a radioactive spider. It's like an entertaining train wreck. And I honestly thought for a while that if we kept doing podcasts, we should like just put like on our channel banner like the worst podcast ever, must watch.
Well,
because it's kind of crazy, some of these episodes.
Just have to pretend, like we just have to mask it behind a set of topics.
Oh, by the way,
like pretend we're gonna talk about stuff.
Oh, was it episode 18? I think it was episode 18 is the worst best episode. Jason screams so loud in that episode, and I forgot to lower the volume. He gets mad at me because I was interrupting him, and he just like, it scared me. I was listening to it, and I
young immature Jason.
Yeah.
How things have
And you
changed.
get mad at me for being loud. That is the loudest thing on any podcast.
I'm glad I secured that title.
Yeah. You gotta be winning at everything.
You probably deserved it.
Dude, I'm sweating so much right now. I'm so nervous. My stomach is out of whack.
Why are you nervous?
Because I haven't done this in
I forgot you said that in Spanish at the beginning. We weren't recording then.
What? Yeah, we were.
No.
Did you delete it?
No, I don't think I ever started recording, did I?
No, we were recording, I thought. Oh, well. The other thing I was going to say is, well, the biggest, story that's happened over the past few days is that we are living off the land. Right, Jason?
Not this.
No, Jason, it's been an adventure. You said you were on board because you want to take advantage of our natural resources.
It's like the whole pumpkin spice thing, but now all you talk about is persimmons.
Dude, I'm so proud of myself. They don't know. They're not tired.
Proud of yourself for telling your parents to make stuff for you?
I helped pick them, Jason. I helped pick.
You spotted my dad climb up on a ladder into a tree to pick persimmons.
We're doing
You're like, yeah, you're good. You haven't fallen off yet. You're good.
No, I was actually really worried about him. I was standing by the ladder thinking, if I have to catch him, I will. It'll probably break my back. I'll break his fall.
He'll snap both of your arms and die.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, that was some crazy Inmedius race we did there. Because they don't even know what we're talking about 100% yet. We have a persimmon tree. We have a persimmon tree in our yard. And for the longest time, I was the only one who ate the persimmons. A couple would fall and have not gone bad yet.
Whoa. That's still a medias res because you have to explain the first time you tried a persimmon.
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'll start where my adventure with persimmons start. Well, for the longest time, I didn't even know what, persimmons were. I didn't even notice they grew on this tree in our backyard. But then Dad was like, oh, yeah, those are persimmons. They're edible.
That's like when we were young kids. Because I remember I would, pick them up and just, throw them or squish them or something.
You would do that.
Well, it was cool having, fruit tree in our yard.
I think I remember as a kid you picked up a mushroom and I freaked out because I was like, odds are statistically that's poisonous. Go wash your hands. And I started crying.
Odds are that it's not going to kill me, right?
Well, I don't know how many are deadly poisonous mushrooms.
I hope you like that finger cracking ASMR.
Yeah. Jason can't do it. Oh, he got one.
It sounded like I was just snapping a bone. Continue.
But then one day he told me that and I was like, what? We got free fruit in our backyard. Free food. It was almost as exciting as when he told me we had a mulberry bush and then or a tree. It was a big one, but we never actually got to try any because our neighbor, it's technically on their property too, and they cut it down or something. But I was like, we gotta try this. And Dad didn't know anything about persimmons apparently because he just brought one in. And if you know anything about persimmons, I see you, one person out there.
Quick interjection. I think I can see the venom rushing through my veins.
Dude, this is like a recurring plot point.
Yeah, continue.
Dude, I'm scared. Does it hurt more?
No, but there's a vein that's red.
To be fair, I can see every vein in your body because you're so skinny. Jason's just admiring his hand.
That vein has got poison in it.
Oh no. Do you want me to bite it and suck it out?
Look, it's like a dice roll. I either wake up and my hand's there or it's not. Either way, life goes on.
You could get a cool robotic arm.
That would be dope. Just kidding.
So he brings in a persimmon and it's not ripe. I know. But no, you're actually thinking okay, so what, it'll taste like grass or something. No. The thing about persimmons that none of us knew back then is they are the finickiest fruit in the world. And by the way, we're talking about, you don't know this, was it Hayachi persimmons, I think, versus Fuyu persimmons? If you've ever seen persimmons in the store, they're the Fuyu persimmons.
Big ones.
They're the size of tomatoes. And when they're unripe, they just don't taste very good. And then when they're ripe, they taste good. The natural common persimmons that you find here in America,
itty bitty little berries.
They're smaller, but you can eat them. They're cherry size.
They're like really big blueberry size.
Yeah, well, they're shaped like blueberries, but they're the size of cherries. If you eat them when they're unripe, it is like eating an entire desert.
All in one instant.
It is the most astringent thing you will ever place in your mouth.
It's like getting your mouth vacuumed.
And my dad, who would usually be nice enough to test stuff for us, was he saw that I was excited. He was like, here, Jonathan, you take the first bite of there, pop the whole thing in. And I was like, And then I just started crying and screaming.
No, I remember you were like, I heard the sink come on, and I was like, oh, what's happening? You're just washing your tongue.
I was freaking out.
There's so little moisture in your mouth that you were just gargling
I know.
water.
I literally thought my tongue was gonna fall out or something. I thought I had actually killed myself. I didn't had anything astringent before in my life, so I didn't even know how to describe the feeling. I was just my mouth is dying.
See, to me, that's how all grapes are, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah, grapes are slightly astringent, but I never noticed it until you pointed it out.
Maybe I'm allergic or something.
I think some people just notice it more.
Or partially allergic, but like I can only eat like 3 grapes because it makes my mouth so dry.
Because I've never been the kind of person who laments on aftertastes, so that makes sense. Some people just like they focus more on the primary taste. But let me tell you, unripe persimmon primary taste is astringent. It is terrible. But the funniest part is after I freaked out, Dad was like laughing his butt off at me. And he was like, Jonathan, you're freaking out way too much. He probably even got mad. He was like, Jonathan, calm down.
Oh, then he tried it.
Yeah, and then he was like, I'm going to try it. I don't know why he thought it would be worth trying after what I just did. He probably just wanted to prove that I was overreacting. But then sure enough, he was like, oh my goodness. And he was like, he had a slightly more calm reaction, but still crazy over the top. So yeah, don't eat a persimmon until it's very, very, very soft and the little leafy top like pops right off. Think like a pineapple, but the whole thing because it's just one little.
Fast forwards.
Yeah, fast forwards. We learned that after looking it up on Google, and now every now and then I like go out and I pick a persimmon and I just eat it myself. And I'm like telling everybody, guys, persimmons taste good.
Like a loser.
I'm like, guys, persimmons taste good, but like my mom doesn't like them because persimmons. When I said they're the most finicky fruit, there's a ton of reasons why people wouldn't like them, even if they eat them at the right time. The seeds are too big. Sometimes it's just like you're sucking on seeds and then you spit them out. It's like pomegranates almost.
You know, their flavor reminds me of cantaloupe, not in the way that it tastes not in the way that it tastes like cantaloupe at all, but in the fact that it's like a flavor that I've never had before.
That's why I keep saying. That's why I love persimmon so much. You cannot compare it to any other fruit. I've had starfruit before, and I said it tastes like a mix between an apple and a grape.
Like Benson had a...
But persimmon is just persimmon. You can't compare it to anything.
Yeah, starfruit tastes like grape to me. Benson had a plum today and said it tasted kind of like a grape, like a big grape. Which I can kind of see.
I could see that, yeah.
A lot of fruits have similar taste, which I actually think apple is a pretty unique fruit as far as taste.
Yeah.
But like
obviously
for
it's
example,
taken for granted because it's like the poster
citrus
child
fruits like oranges, grapefruits, lemons all taste very similar. But like cantaloupe is an example of a fruit. Like I just can't describe the flavor. I just can't even begin. It's a very weird flavor, but I like it. But that's kind of how persimmon is. It's just like you
caught me off guard though with saying like I thought you were actually going to say they taste similar.
No, well, that's why I purposely did that because I'm a little bit.
But they're really good. And Jason, I don't know if he had any plain persimmons, but I remember
I have at 1 year.
I'm skipping ahead of myself. I think they taste like nature's candy. Like literally, I love them. But even then, like I said, they're seedy. Their peel gets tough. Ours are like in the shade in a certain way where they actually start to raisin. Like
oh my goodness. I can't, like, my wrist is now numb on this side.
Jason, I'm scared.
It's gone all the way down to my wrist. My wrist right here is numb.
How long has this bug bite been here?
I only noticed it today. It's not numb there now. It's moving through my bloodstream.
You got a parasite. It's going to my heart. Jason.
No.
You're the loud one this time. What's going on?
Seriously though, the numbness just moved down my arm.
Dude, is there like a worm crawling through your bloodstream?
No.
He's got his head in his hands.
It's just moving through my bloodstream, I guess.
Dude, that would scare me to death, but it sounds funny coming from you.
I'll be fine.
You're such a comedian. I forgot what I was talking about.
This year.
Oh yeah, the part my mom doesn't like most about them is they're grainy. They have a very grainy texture about them. So it kind of tastes like almost like there's like edible sand mixed in with it, like moon sand sometimes. But I can look past that. Texture doesn't bother me. Aftertaste doesn't bother me that much. Sometimes you get a ripe one, but it has like a bitter aftertaste because it's like still waning out the astringency.
You're talking about persimmons way too long.
They're a very interesting fruit. They're actually like really fascinating. But I am moving on. Their leaves, they start off round and then they turn pointy when they mature. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. Just to show that the fruit isn't the only interesting part. Fast forward. Well, actually, we need a bit of background.
Oh, you fast forward twice?
Every time I bring up... Well, I fast forward and then I rewinded. Every time I bring up persimmons, my mom, who, like I said, wasn't even that interested in them, plain, always told me how her grandmother had a persimmon tree in her backyard, and she made this recipe, persimmon pudding, that they just used to snack on. They loved it so much. Her and, like, her siblings. And I was always like, that sounds awesome. Because I'm, huge persimmon advocate. And I was like, can you make that? And she's like, I don't know the recipe. And it's not like mainstream. It kind of is mainstream. I found recipes of it online. But she wanted her recipe, and I did too. Because it's like a family thing. She found it. Fast forward, she's looking through an old recipe box from our grandmother. Our grandmother, not hers. But the recipe from her grandmother was in it. She found the original persimmon pudding recipe, and I'm spitting on the microphone.
Wait, so it was our mom's grandmother, in other words, our great-grandmother that made it for her?
It's our great-grandmother's recipe, dude.
And then she found...
Now Jason's invested. And then he didn't know the legacy was this long.
She found her mom, a.k.a. our grandmother's recipe, from her mother's mother's recipe.
Yes, dude.
Okay, I didn't know all this.
The lore, the backstory, it's so intense, the world building. And then finally the payoff, she found it, and I immediately, I snapped.
I think I need a tourniquet to, like, cut off my bloodstream so it doesn't move past my arm.
Is that what those are called? Tourniquets?
Yeah, I believe that's the phrase. It's like a rubber thing that you just like partially clamp on your arm so that.
Dude, this is getting off topic, but when I was a kid and any of my limbs would fall asleep, I hated the feeling so much that I pushed so hard on the end of wherever they were falling asleep, so hard that no blood could go through, and so I wouldn't feel because the tinglies is the blood going back. And I have no idea how I didn't amputate myself. Somehow, eventually, the blood flow continued, even though I was trying so hard to push it. Because I didn't know how limbs falling asleep worked back then.
You're so loud about this.
I didn't know how it worked back then. I just knew it hurt like heck. Again, pardon my language. I'm going off the rails today. It's those brownies Benson gave us.
Off
the weed brownies. And we're just kidding, Benson. But you did give us brownies. They were good.
There's so much unexplained banter in this.
Dude, we're gonna reference all your friends. Gavin, Benson. We gotta bring up Scott at some point.
Too late.
I know. But yeah, I have no idea how I didn't kill myself. Somehow I survived that.
So fast forward.
But I immediately was like, all I could think about is, Mom, you have to make the recipe. The persimmons are in season and everything. They were all up there on the tree. It just coincided perfectly. It's fall. That's when they come in. They're ripen and they fall. But you got to get them before they fall because most of them are so soft that they splat when they hit the ground, which is probably what they want because then the seeds scatter. But I was like, we got to get them. And so I went.
Do you think it was while I was sleeping? Like, do you think it was just a spider in my sleep or something?
Dude, the mosquito bit me in my sleep because I just woke up with it.
But mosquitoes aren't venomous, so...
Oh, yeah. Yours is not a mosquito if it really is a bug bite at all.
Well, it must be like a spider or something.
Oh, dude. When I was picking the persimmons, I picked one that was on a spider web, and Dad had, like, twigged off the spider web. Mm-hmm. But the spider apparently was still on there. I was picking the persimmon, and I was just chilling, and then it just crawls off of it. And I thought it was like a black widow because it was like jet black, but I couldn't see its underside. And I freaked out, and I just, like, tossed the berry. And Dad heard me. He was like, whoa, what's going on? It was freaking me out. But speaking of picking persimmons, I was picking all that I could at ground level. But our tree is tall. It goes up high. And most of them were way up at the top. So I was like trying to prove to my mom, because she knew there wasn't much meat on our persimmons. And she was like, we need 2 cups of persimmon pulp. Was it 2 cups? Yeah, it was 2 full cups of persimmon pulp to make this persimmon pudding recipe. And so, like, you mash it like applesauce to get the pulp and separate it from the seeds and stuff through, like, a strainer sieve thing. And so I was trying to prove, and she said that's, like, 2 baskets. Actually, I think it was 1.5 cups, and that was 2 baskets.
I'm sorry. Needs to know the recipe.
Yes, I'm going to give them the recipe. I'm going to put I will actually put the recipe in the description. Maybe not. We should maybe keep it a family heirloom. But, so I was trying to gather as many as I could at foot level, reaching just off the ground to prove to her that we could make it, but it wasn't enough. Suddenly my dad, and all I can think of is they did this because my birthday was around the corner.
That is why they did it. That's what she told me.
But, like, I've asked them to do stuff for my birthday before, and they just ignore me. And then I didn't ask for this, and they did it. Like, I didn't explicitly ask for it.
Well, it's better than, like, buying some
Yeah, I got a shirt for my birthday. I got a shirt for my birthday.
Yeah, I'm sure you like the persimmon pudding.
My favorite gift for my birthday was the Steam gift card, honestly.
Other than not the persimmon?
Oh, if that counts. Well, I mean, like, packaged gifts.
Okay, well, yeah, you only got, like,
if that counts as a gift, yes. I mean,
that's all you got.
Most people don't consider, say, their birthday cake a gift, but yeah, it technically is.
Everything they did with it was a gift.
I know, but I really loved it. And I will tell you exactly why.
Both of my ears.
My dad
just got all blocked up and stuffy.
Oh, so it already reached your brain?
Yeah, I believe so.
Excuse me if you heard that.
Well,
dude, what a way to end. at least your lapsed moments are encapsulated in the podcast.
There goes the springy sound effect. I forgot.
Oh yeah, dude, let them hear it. Honestly,
I got a mic arm. Here. I'll pluck the strings of the mic arm like
it's
an
like
instrument.
strum it.
I got a mic arm. Shout out to Benson. And there's like, the springs, the tension springs that let you adjust it. And so when I hit the table, or if I just pluck the springs, you can hear that sound. Probably not the most pleasant.
It's kind of cool. It sounds
like a bass guitar or something.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like a synthesized video game sound effect or something. I want to put it in a game.
Anyways, where our dad works.
Dad sprung in. He's a hero. No, first I want to say, he climbed. I kept telling him.
It's been like 15 minutes.
I'm going to talk fast. Okay, Mr. Spider Bite, interrupt every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's a funny bit. And look, they're laughing. They're laughing right now because guess what? It reached my heart. And I...
Oh, my goodness. Okay. My dad comes in. He's a hero. I keep talking about how if we just had a ladder, we could get up there and we could pick all the persimmons. Well, most of the persimmons. That goes really high.
You got it. Chill. You got it. You're like...
I'm talking fast.
I got to get them the most.
They can't see that I'm spazzing out.
But the microphone can hear
But Dad keeps telling me we have one of those one-sided ladders. It doesn't prop itself up. We need to lean it against a wall. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's too bad. But then one day he's just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to lean it up against a branch precariously. And I'm going to climb up there like a hero and get these persimmons for my boy, my son. And he does! And we get so many persimmons.
What happens when the well runs dry? You got to find another well.
And well, my dad comes to save the day again. To the rescue is what I meant to say. He remembers, and I remember too, how he would pick me other persimmons, better, bigger persimmons, from his old workplace that he no longer goes to because the recent pandemic, as they always say. And so he drives us there. We forgot our masks, but it doesn't matter because we didn't run into anybody because, no one's working there anymore. And there's this they're not bigger in the sense that they're taller, but they have bigger persimmons. They're healthier because our soil is whack, yo. And we picked so many persimmons there. Unfortunately, a lot of them we picked off the ground because we got them too late. They were all fallen, and so a lot of them were smashed. But we washed them off. We had so much persimmon. You have no idea. We had 3 baskets full of persimmon. Overflowing buckets of, not even baskets, buckets of persimmon. We have so much persimmon. And then Mom just couldn't not make the recipe. So she did. She made the persimmon pudding, and she looked up a persimmon cake recipe, and now she made persimmon butter just a few days ago. We are overflowing with persimmons, and I could not be happier. But do you know what the best part is? When we were out there picking the persimmons, specifically the second time, my dad was talking about how it reminded him of growing up on the farm picking apples. And then when my mom took that first bite of the persimmon pudding, she just did a little happy dance, and she was like, it's just like how I remember. And I was like, this is why I wanted this.
And you know what? When I took that first bite of the persimmon cake, I was like, wow.
I
hate Jonathan. I hope he stops talking about persimmon.
No, you took your first bite, and you were like, whoa, this is like a whole different flavor. And I was like, yes. And that's what I wanted from you, too, because persimmons don't get enough
spices in it
recognition.
are similar to like pumpkin pie, so to me it has like the same.
Yeah, that comes from the side ingredients, especially. It has the consistency, and then also we added cinnamon and stuff like that.
Oh, hey, the numbness is back in my finger. Did it just like switch directions?
It couldn't find anything, so it went back home.
Imagine it just starts leaking back out of the bug bite. It's just like venom comes out of my hand.
If you catch it, if it like surfaces like a worm, you better snatch and rip it out. That's a disturbing image, actually. I can't believe I said that. That's gross.
What, just like a tube of venom? I just pull it out of my skin.
Like popping a giant blackhead of venom?
That made it worse. That
I'm
definitely
so sorry.
made it worse.
Everyone left.
See, now I see what was disturbing about the image, but then
everyone left, and the 9-year-olds are like, hey, that's gross.
We're talking to you, Benson.
Benson. But yeah, that was the best part, honestly. I wanted to make other people's day. It made me so happy.
Of course you did.
I'm serious. Because I knew Mom would enjoy it. That Dad's way of liking it was a surprise. But I pointed out, too, I was like, Dad, is this nostalgic for you?
He could have died. He could have snapped both his arms, both your arms in.
I'm serious. I was so scared for Dad. I wanted to say, can I do it? But I know I'm too much of a cause. I would have killed myself.
Your hair, you're sweating. Like
I am.
Your hair is sweaty.
Because the persimmons get me up.
Okay, is there anything else we're talking about this podcast except for
No. You drew it out so much with the bug bite bit. But speaking of bugs, I'm kind of freaking out over the mosquitoes.
I did not draw. Okay, viewers, comment below if I drug it out with the bug bite bit. No, I made it interesting, entertaining. You drug it out by having to talk about persimmons for 2 hours.
Oh, by the way, Persimmon...
Oh my goodness, it says we only have 2 hours and 2 minutes remaining. You talked for 284 hours. You talked for that long about Persimmon.
No.
Look at you.
Dude.
Okay, what are we
This is a segue. Now? I'm not still talking about persimmons. But bugs were a problem with the persimmon too. They started trying... Because they're getting 2 right now, and we don't have enough stuff we can do with them. But I've been freaking... I'm saying this because...
If I hear the word persimmon one more time...
I think I can avoid that. I'm saying this because I feel like on the podcast, you never
Persimmon.
tell embarrassing... You said it yourself. That's cheating. I feel like I always tell embarrassing stories about you and you don't like it, and then you'll tell embarrassing stories about me. But you never tell them about yourself, and when I tell them, you're always annoyed by them. So I'm going to tell an embarrassing story about myself. I am way too, like, hooked on killing bugs. Like, Jason can vouch for this. I keep getting...
I can't even laugh about it. It's actually annoying.
When there's a mosquito in the room, I'm like, get over here. I'm going to kill you. It's like, I'm like turned into like a monster. And then when I kill them, I like throw a small party. And I'm like, yes! I have said this 1,000 times. I'm like, yes, it's one step closer to mosquito genocide.
You'd be fun at parties.
Sometimes I feel like, and this might be too sensitive, I feel like I sound like some racist guy saying like, those mosquitoes.
That is what it's like.
And I'm starting to not like what I'm turning into.
You said we have to, you said it's part of the genocide on mosquitoes. You sound like...
I know. I feel like a Nazi. Oh no, we're gonna get... we're not monetized.
I was gonna say Nazi earlier, but I avoided it for the same reason. Also because we're talking about bugs, and so it's a little bit different.
But what's funny though is a while ago, I was doing that same thing. I was complaining about bugs, and then Dad, he was like, "Jonathan, calm down." And then literally as soon as he says that, Mom's like, "There's a squirrel in my flower pot," and he goes over there and he's like, "Get on, go get it." And I'm just like, well. It just seemed strangely, perfectly well-timed, almost like karmic. Is that the word? But what...
karma?
Karmic.
Karmic?
Of
like
karma.
Of karma?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's a word. Jason's gonna look it up. Dude, do you have your... you should have had your mouse thing going. That moves the mouse around?
It is going, otherwise
it
it
is?
would have...
Oh, well then is this annoying?
Karmic relationships.
Yeah, it is a thing. I mean, maybe I misused it, but it is a thing. And yeah, other stuff. Dharma, reincarnation is coming up. So yeah, it's
Karmas are attracted to the karmic field of a soul.
Yeah, the karmic field of a soul.
Soulmates and karmic relationships.
Yeah, soulmates.
Karmic partners are obsessive and overly jealous.
Karmic soulmates, does this have anything to do with those pheromones? Dude, old podcast meme. Remember when you kept going on about pheromones?
No, I don't.
You don't? That was like a whole episode. We made it like that was our bug bite skit.
I smell something.
Yeah, it's me sweating.
No, it's pheromones.
Oh yeah, Jason has this new thing.
My veins are bulging.
He pretends not to remember something, and then right when I start to believe that he does, and he's like, "Ha, I actually did." I almost want to talk about it. That was actually one of the funniest things you ever did. We were watching. I'm gonna blaze through this.
Okay.
Let
me tell it.
Okay.
I haven't talked in like an hour, in case you haven't noticed.
Dude, I didn't think you wanted to talk. I thought this whole thing you were doing.
We were watching How to Train Your Dragon 3, the third installment. I don't know why I said the word 3 so weird. The third installment in the How to Train Your Dragon series.
Like a Viking.
Cool movie, but anyways, there was like these dragons lifting this like wooden contraption
from
that
like
looked 4
sides.
That looked, as you called it, a drone, and so you called it some kind of steampunk drone.
Yeah, just because it was like old tech.
And
but it
then
was the best descriptor.
What was it? It was like 10 seconds later. I said, "Look at that!"
Yeah, it reappeared, and you were like, "Whoa, it's like a steampunk drone."
Some kind of
and I look over at you, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I just said." And you look at me, and you're like, "What?"
And I do that kind of bit all the time. So now every time I do it, he references that moment because that was one of the first times he's. What?
Keep going.
Well, that was like the first time that now I've since that I've started doing it a lot more recently.
But no, he was insistent the first time. He's been less insistent because he realizes I catch on. But the first time he was like, "No, dude, I don't think you'd explain it well enough." He was legitimately telling me like, "No, dude, I just thought of that on my own. I was like, it was like a steampunk drone. I didn't know you said the same thing."
Yeah, well, I just pretended like I didn't hear him say that and just like came to the same conclusion.
And the whole time I'm like, no, there's no way. And then just as I started to believe it, like 15 minutes later, he was like, "No, dude, I totally lied. I heard you say that and repeated your exact words." And I was like, "I knew it!" And I slammed the table, almost knocked my root beer over. That we drink root beer on movie nights. And then he got meta with it. Was it just today or just yesterday? And I was going around, and it was when I started.
You're a little loud.
You're right. It was when I started the meme of saying that, it's like a steampunk drone every time that he does the bit where he pretends not to remember something. And I said it, and he was like, what does that mean? And I was like, you know what that means. And he was like, no.
I did do that.
He got meta with it. And I walked off.
I actually forgot I did that until now.
You're getting so good at it that it's happening unironically now. Oh my goodness. Jason is the master of like psychological pranks. It's only fitting that he's taking psychology right now. He's got his like psychology book sitting out somewhere, don't you? He's gonna be able to read. He's gonna be able to read people's minds by the end of the semester.
Really, Jonathan? That's what you're thinking right now?
Dude, you caught me off guard because I didn't know. I thought I actually said something, and I was scared. I was like, "Why? I didn't do anything." I was so freaked out. Another thing I was gonna say though. This just occurred to me as a topic. I literally added this to the list of topics today. Talking about the crazy cardinal that keeps attacking our house under siege not every day, but it's crazy. Like there's this thing going on. It's like a war zone. And I just remembered it today because he was perched on the side mirror of this car we have parked outside a garage, and he just repeatedly nosedives, bangs into the garage window again and again. Like just 5-second intervals. Bam, bam. Once in the winter, a female cardinal accidentally flew into our French doors by the side of our like living room. And it like knocked itself unconscious. And I went out there and I comforted it. I wrapped it in a towel and I like helped it warm up and like come to and wake up. And then eventually flew away and was the most beautiful thing ever. And it like almost died. And this male cardinal just like keeps trying to kill himself, but he doesn't. And it's become this thing. Dad is always freaking out. He sits on the side.
Wait, so you're telling me it still does that every morning? Where it'll
Yes.
I remember that it used to do that, but I didn't know.
He keeps perching on bushes and especially on car side view mirrors. Something about car side view mirrors. Perch on them, and he'll nosedive at windows like he's trying to like scare us.
Yeah, no. So we have a truck parked outside our house,
and he keeps perching on.
Let me talk.
You gotta mention you know what, I'll let you do it.
And it sits on the right side view mirror, and because it sits there so much, it just leaks doo-doo. It just leaks dookie all over it.
It's covered in
literally this right side view mirror just has bird poop all over it. And it got to the point where our dad put a plastic bag over the side view mirror so that it wouldn't get poop on it.
Because it's got something about glass. It's like, if it sees something transparent, it's like, I can get in there. If it sees something reflective, it's like, who are you? I'm going to kill you. It's obsessed with mirrors and windows. And it's trying to kill itself.
It's probably rabid or something. We should probably shoot it.
You can't. I don't think birds can get rabid, dude. But the thing is crazy. But here's the thing. It gets... You're looking it up?
Yeah.
The thing is, this gets like cinematic. Jason just looked up. Am I about to die of venom?
That was funny. It was funnier to him than it was to the viewer because you couldn't see what I was typing. But...
Oh my goodness, dude. Okay.
Oh, anyways, I'm actually gonna look up now if birds have.
But this gets crazy cinematic. I thought you were gonna do another bit.
Can birds get rabies? Birds, snakes, and fish are not mammals. Oh, only mammals can have rabies. Okay.
They listed fish. Imagine a rabid fish.
It just flops out of the water.
Yeah.
It just decides it's gonna breathe on land.
That's how the evolution started.
Rabid fish.
But then where did the rabies come from? What came first, the rabies or the fish? These nuts. We're gonna get onto your D's nuts obsession at some point. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the craziest part is there was a point where it got downright cinematic, and I think I've said that exact word 3 times now, but that's the best way to describe it.
It's moved down a little bit. It's like down here now, not at the wrist. It's like moving down my forearm.
Slap it and kill it.
Ow, it feels like sore. I think I'm killing myself.
Then don't do it, please. He's still doing it.
This is legitimately venom moving through my body, guys. Live on camera.
I don't think that's how venom works, dude.
It is.
How? That's some thick venom.
It bit me.
That's some thick and conscious venom.
Venom goes through your bloodstream slowly. That's how.
And then back up, and then back down.
Oh my goodness, you have not watched enough Coyote Wilderness, whatever his name is.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen
Coyote Peterson, Brave Wilderness, the guy who gets stung by bees. I know everything I know about venom because of him.
Can I just say that A, I'm having a lot of fun on this
That's
podcast.
also how I know what a tourniquet is, and I'm in
B,
desperate
we've
need
like
of one
brought
right
up
now.
so many things in this. Dude, did he need to like use those to survive some of that
So
stuff?
there was an episode where he got bitten by it's the world's most venomous
Oh
centipede.
yeah, every single thumbnail is like, this thing will kill you. I let 20 of them sting me from inside my mouth.
He doesn't do it anymore. But anyways, it was like
He's probably run out of venomous insects,
it's
honestly.
the world's most poisonous centipede, and he had to go out into the desert to catch it. This thing's huge, like the size of his arm, in length. Looks nasty, looks terrifying. But anyways, it was the worst bite he's ever had, according to him. Like the worst, most venomous, and he actually had to use a tourniquet, and then he used this thing to like try to remove the venom. It didn't work. He almost died.
Oh my! Imagine if he did.
I mean, that's how it happens.
How do you think his loved ones would think about that? Like,
well, that's what's about to happen to me, and we're recording it on film right now.
Oh my goodness! What I was gonna say is the crazy story, movie-esque. Found a new way of putting it. Is our dad? He notices he's been gone for like a long time. Like it's just been quiet, and he's like, "We're free." He's gone, and so he takes the tarp off the mirror. He washes the car. Finally, it's clean. It's beautiful.
This.
And he's just at peace. And then one day he walks out, and there's just a single red feather by the car.
Yeah, I remember
and he
that.
picks it up, and
it's
he's
like an omen.
No. And then the next day, bang, bang, bang. It started all over again. It's crazy. It's just... How long do cardinals even live? How is he still here?
Should've got a BB while you had the chance.
Yeah. He probably, you know what he'd probably do? That cardinal is such a master of mischief. He'd try and shoot the cardinal and shoot the car window.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say that the cardinal would just live, like, with a bullet in its
Dude,
heart.
it would. It would, like, come back, like, with a distorted, like, Voldemort
or
face.
Or you shoot it and it just, like, flies straight at you and starts just, like,
Dad
running
would
into
just
you
wake up and he would look out the window in his bedroom and he would just be standing there.
Literally like a skeleton of a bird.
Yes. Yeah, that would freak him out. Dude,
I think
we should try
I might be
him.
like placeboing this because every time I touch it, it feels like it's moving further down my arm, and I think I'm
probably.
I think I'm slowly.
Do we both have what is it called where we like imagine things are wrong with us that we don't?
Hypochondria?
Is that what it is?
It's where you like.
You think you got that?
I think my brain is just inverting and trying to kill myself.
Dude, no.
It's just like you're gonna die of venom. You're dying of venom.
Dude, I used to be so scared of poison. I was like, back when we were doing...
I'm not. I'm living right now. This is
back
fun.
when we were in, earth science or, like, geology or some class I had back in middle school, we were, like, doing stuff with rocks, and they told us that there might be, like, slightly harmful chemicals in them, so we used gloves, and I was just freaking out the whole time that there would be lead in them, and that I would touch it and I would die.
When I had to dissect a cow eyeball...
And it phased through your goggles?
Well, it did do that. It went over. I was wearing glasses at the time.
Goggles. Glasses and goggles.
Now I wear
double
contacts,
protection.
but I had glasses and goggles. And a little bit of the vitreous humor, the jelly stuff that's inside the eyeball.
Ew.
Bounces, when I slice it open with a scalpel, a tiny little droplet flicks up into my eyeball. And the teacher, I'm like, hey, there's eyeball in my eyeball. And she says, you're wearing glasses and goggles, so I'm not sure how that could happen. Turns around, starts walking
right before
away.
You said it.
But yeah, no, she didn't believe me. But I think the real reason why she said that is because she didn't know how to use the eye wash station because she struggled to figure out how to do it, and so I think she was just trying to avoid that responsibility.
She's like, I've never had to do this.
Anyways,
I remember I made jokes after that about how you're gonna turn to a superhero.
We had to do a
cowboy.
We had to do a worksheet while we were dissecting the eyeball, so we had to touch our pencils with our with cow eyeball gunk all over our hands. Well, we were wearing gloves. We were wearing gloves, but we couldn't take
logic.
We couldn't take off the gloves to write with our pencils
because you had to do it along the way.
So our pencils are just sopping wet with cow eyeball juice.
Dude,
it was absolutely disgusting. Why do we have to
the end of that pencil.
Why are we doing a worksheet while we're dissecting a cow eyeball? This makes no sense.
It doesn't. That's gross. I can't. I'm so glad I never had to dissect anything.
It wasn't that. It was not that fun.
If I did, I don't remember it. Ken got to dissect a squid. What was that thing she went to where she got to do?
You did the owl pellet, right? I know it's not dissecting.
At least that's not alive. I mean, there's biotic matter in it. I found bones. Yo, wait, was I the one who found the skull in mine? Or was I like sitting next to the guy? Either way, it was like I got to see it firsthand. It was cool. It was like a whole rat skull in that pellet. And I was like, what?
Any final things?
Final things?
We have 6 minutes.
I wanted to go on talking about how I hate house centipedes, but almost don't hate them as much ever since the
What if I just like suck on the bite?
Because you brought up the worst centipede bite. Is it even a bite? I don't see anything.
It is a little bump. And that's where the source of it is coming from. And it's
that is
like
scary.
Down through my bloodstream. Will you think if I suck on it enough, I can get the venom out?
That's a myth. You can't even do that with snake bites.
All right, then I'm sucking on my picky.
How's it taste? I think you're supposed to spit it out.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but it tastes kind of like metallic.
Dude, you're getting into that. You're supposed to spit it out if it's venom, because then if you swallow it, then it's still inside you. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, but when the venom touches the stomach acid, it goes. My ears just started ringing immediately after I swallowed that. Both of my ears are ringing now.
Dude, I think you've mastered the placebo gland. Like, you are just going to kill yourself.
I know. I am actually gonna die. I'm just gonna.
Like, you are just.
I'm dying.
You are literally just going to give yourself like every disease just by talking about it. You are going to will yourself to death. Speaking of death, the plague, and speaking of the plague, rats. I was gonna do that going off of how we were talking a bunch of like pest animals. And there was an episode of the podcast where we talked about animals that people think are gross, but that we think are cute. And I brought up how you like pigs, and I like frogs. Another cute, gross animal that you're suddenly obsessed with is rats.
Yes.
More so a while ago. He was like posting rats in our family group chat.
No, it was just to post the rat picture.
And I posted the rat. I was the only one who posted the rat.
It was funny, but no.
Dude, I don't remember. I looked up something about rats because of that. And I just got flooded with cute rat videos on YouTube recommended now. There's so many of them.
The rats are great.
Yeah, they are so cute.
They really are.
Would you keep a pet rat with your pet pig?
Absolutely.
What if your pet pig ate your pet rat one day?
I don't know how I feel about a pet pig. They're too big.
But imagine if you could ride it like in Minecraft. Imagine.
But they're stinky. Rats are stinky but
I'm
small.
I'm stinky and you put up with me.
Do I?
Okay. But I was... And speaking of that, I just like to talk about random stuff that people like all of a sudden. What is with your sudden... Because I talked about my persimmons. What is it with you and lemons all of a sudden, bro?
I've always loved lemons.
Like, I haven't noticed, but ever since Mom's been putting out lemon slices to go with our tea...
She's been slicing up lemons for
our tea. She's been devouring them.
Yes. Oh my god. Every year at Thanksgiving when she cuts up lemons for our tea...
I actually do remember that.
Every year I eat just straight up lemon wedges.
Like,
I have always done this. And now that she's enabling me so much, it's like I'm like a drug user. I can't stop.
Oh my goodness. Maybe that's what it is. You have lemon poisoning.
Sorry if that was a little too heavy for the podcast, but...
But dude, I used to say that limes were my favorite fruit. And grapefruits, another citrus fruit, actually were my favorite up until I recently decided to change it to persimmons.
Grapefruits are probably my favorite.
Shoot, you gotta fall asleep now. I said persimmon. But no, lime was my favorite thing because I like sour flavored stuff, so I would liken it to lime.
I would say grapefruits are my favorite fruit.
Really? You're stealing that from me?
Not stealing anything.
But yeah, so I was even more than you. I loved lime flavored stuff. And I would eat lemons too, but the thing is, I would eat lemons that were already being used. If I was in a restaurant and they put lemon in my tea, I would eat the lemon because I don't waste fruit, and I love fruit, all fruit, sweet, sour, any of them, always have.
Well, if we're talking like...
But Jason, he seeks out lemons. He will put the lemon in his tea, be finished with his tea, eat the lemon pulp that he didn't already squeeze down, and he will go and just get another raw lemon just to eat.
No, I always suck the lemon first before I put it in my tea.
Vampire, suck just it like your blister.
But anyways, if we're talking candy fruit flavorings, probably my top flavors for candy flavorings are watermelon and banana. I love watermelon flavored things. Watermelon gum, watermelon
I think I said this on the podcast before, but I know people say they don't like watermelon and they don't like banana flavored stuff. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I wrote this.
It's me. I'm a contrarian.
Dude, no, I write down interesting thoughts and I wrote this down. people say they don't like banana flavor stuff and they like watermelon flavor stuff because it doesn't taste like banana, it doesn't taste like watermelon. And then I say to myself, yeah, but it does taste like candy and it tastes good. Like, I admit it doesn't really taste like those things, but I like it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's just the flavor that I like.
Yeah, just look past your expectations.
But even that, the banana flavor is based on real banana flavor. It's just not the bananas that we eat anymore. So
yeah, I think there actually is a close relative of that banana that still survives.
There is, but they're not the ones that we commonly have. Well, anyways, we have less than 10 seconds to wrap this up. 5 seconds.
I'm starting to like red candy more than green candy.
John, this is not a good way to...
What time is it?
5 seconds. 3 seconds.
No, we've gone over an hour before.
1 sec. Goodbye.
No, please don't.
I gotcha.
You scared me.
Gotcha.
Okay. I was gonna... Jeez.
Holy cow, it's down here now. Wait.
Dude.
No, I'm
this is an odyssey. Dude, I actually have so much stuff to talk about. Like, I have actual topics on here. Like, talking about stuff related to the Mario 35th anniversary and that whole temporary thing they're doing. And then also the Battle Royale Mario that they did. That is almost certainly the reason why they took down that other Mario Battle Royale.
Think about the news. Think about the news articles. Boy dies of venom after talking about it for an hour in a podcast. Like, think about it. It's almost laughable. I want you to laugh. What if you got recluse?
Dude, the recluses, they don't usually... Mom got bit by one, she thought, a while ago. Ask her if it's similar. Because they don't usually kill you, at least an adult.
There's no way this can kill me. I'm pretty confident that it actually is venom in my bloodstream, but there's no way that it can kill me.
Dude, what if this actually...
Probably.
What if this actually became like a 2-hour special?
But
because like we spent so much time talking about stuff that wasn't even the main...
I'm not doing 2 hours.
Dude, then does this mean we're going to do another podcast?
I mean, I have no problem with that.
Okay. Well, the last story that I feel like fits in... Well,
you better keep it tight.
No, actually, this isn't the last personal story, but it's a shorter personal story that I might as well knock out. So, like, dude, we were talking about, like, psychic powers a while ago because you were pretending to read my mind. Do you ever focus on something? And, like, I was doing this because I was thinking about how my vision got bad because... You know, I look at a computer screen right in front of me all the time, and they've adjusted to not be able to see stuff far away. You know, that's why they say you shouldn't do that. But have you ever focused on something far away, and it's like everything else blurs away, and then it's like that thing is almost outlined? Have you ever done that?
I wouldn't say outlined, but it like the peripherals of your vision become like black. Yeah.
I get this thing because I have like this. Ever since I was a kid, I've had this thing where I just like staring at one thing, and then I just don't want to move my eyes. And sometimes that thing ends up being too close to a person, and they think that I'm like trying to like bore a hole in their brain.
See, I can't test this anymore because I can't stare at anything too long because my contacts will dry out.
You would think I wouldn't be able to either because I have ADHD, but I think it has to do with like daydreaming. I just want to stare at one spot and like think.
It's a departure from your childhood when you can't do staring contests anymore because you have contacts and you have to blink or else your eyes
contacts problem. That's why I'm never going to get contacts.
Yeah, you didn't even hear what I said because you cut me off when I was talking about how I can't stare at something for a long time. I was saying because my contacts will dry out, but you immediately said, I have ADHD.
You know, maybe I got a bug bite too, so maybe now I get a free pass to interrupt whenever I want.
Well, maybe you don't.
Anyways, so I was staring at stuff in the distance doing that where it's like you hyper-focus on something. Just because I thought, you know, maybe if I did this every day, my eyes would get better. Maybe they'd re-unadjust or whatever.
And it happened.
No, it didn't. But at first I was staring at my dad, but that was only for a few seconds because he was standing in front of the TV and I was sitting on the other side of the room. So it was pretty far away because I was on like the long side of the room. You don't need to visualize it. It's not important. But then he moved away and what was behind him was the wall clock. And you might already know where part of this is going. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stare at the wall clock. And as soon as I reach the point of hyperfocus, it just falls off the wall.
Wait, is that why it's on the floor?
Yes!
I didn't know why it was on the floor.
I've been wanting to tell somebody this story because I think I moved it with psychic powers. It has never wobbled. It has never shown any sign of being
on that
weak.
wall for years.
For just years, and it works perfectly fine. And then I just stare at it, and as soon as I'm like, consciously realize, hey, I'm looking at the clock.
As soon as it clicks into hyperfocus.
Yes, as soon as it does, ka-thunk, and the thing is, Dad immediately, he like gets up and he doesn't even know where to look. And he's like, whoa. And he doesn't say anything because he's flabbergasted at first. And I felt like I had to like pretend that I didn't just see that. I was like, whoa, what was that? Except I'm actually good at pretending. So I was like, whoa, what was that?
I wonder what the reaction is when you just watch the clock fall and you're
I was like, I did that. Like, I actually almost apologized.
My fault.
But I just pretended like, whoa, did you see that, Dad?
Haven't got my sea legs yet. I mean, my psychokinetic legs.
I know, it was the craziest thing. I felt like I did it. But I couldn't have. I don't have psychic powers, do I? Do I have untapped psychic
isn't
potential?
it on like a hook or something? Like, how would it have fallen
I don't even know. It was like it was like the hook disappeared. It just fell straight down. It was the craziest thing. I literally didn't even know.
The 7th dimension aliens came in and they're like, we need that hook.
I know.
And it just...
That's a reference we use, by the way, because Jason has a habit of like throwing stuff over his shoulder and then it just disappears.
Forever. The 7th dimension.
Yeah, that's what we call it when you drop something on the floor and then it's just gone.
That originated from such an obscure thing. It was a Valentine's Day scavenger hunt.
Well, it had happened before then, but it really cemented itself as a meme.
Yeah.
When we were doing a Valentine's Day scavenger hunt that our dad set up.
Dad said, I don't even know why.
It was
I don't even
poems.
know what it was.
It was
so
little
weird.
poems that gave hints to another location that had another little poem.
He just set this up in our house. This is unusual.
No, he's done things like this. Like, remember when he does the string puzzles on Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, and that was when we were young kids.
Our dad is awesome when he wants to be.
Sometimes. Yeah. Glad we both made that distinction. But yeah, no, it's weird. I don't even remember exactly what it was like, but I have like one of the clues that's leading to the next hint.
Yeah, like, you know how Jason's crazy and he just like throws caution to the wind for the sake of a joke?
I was like, okay, let's go, guys.
Yeah, he was like, okay, we don't need this man. He throws the unread clue over his shoulder.
Gone.
And it's not like we were in some obscure location where we just like get sucked up in a corner. I mean, it could get lost behind things, but we looked behind those things.
But it's been years and nobody's found it.
No one has. We never found it. And it should just be on the floor somewhere. It is gone. We don't know where it is. It's
but we do.
What?
The 7th dimension.
Yes, we do. And so now it's lost media. We'll never know Dad's missing poem. It's unpublished.
Imagine like the future owners of the house find it somehow.
And they think it's like hidden buried treasure or a message to like a murder victim. They'll find like there's a dead body hidden in there, isn't there? Because it's hinting to a location.
And then the really big plot twist is that
there actually was
Dad's a murderer and we never knew it.
Dad was a murderer.
Look, when you slap your leg, look at that. Look at that. There's just a huge spike. Well, that's about it for today, guys.
Dude, we could talk about so much more, but that's well. Do you want to talk about this whole thing was supposed to be an update video? I guess we have to go out.
You updated them on your Persimmons for half an hour. That's what you did.
I know. Here's the thing. We're gonna make more content because I'm literally I have Jason pinned down. I'm choking him at the neck right now.
That's not true. He's not doing that.
I have full control over him. He's handcuffed to a table. I have him tied to a chair. No, but even if I do have to drag him by the legs, metaphorically speaking, I want to do more stuff with this channel. I have like literal ideas for games that would be great to play with two people, either versus or together, or in some other way that like make up our own game with them. I have these ideas listed out. We're gonna do them because Jason is trying to remind me of myself, and I don't want him.
That's not good.
He used to remind me of what
That's really bad.
He used to remind me of what I wished I was, to the point of almost being jealous. But now he just reminds me of myself, which is pathetic. That should be a diagnosable disease, too much like Jonathan-itis.
Well, if I still remind you of yourself, I'm gonna die of poison.
It's the law of conservation of motivation or something.
Of these nuts.
If you
law of conservation of these nuts.
But no, like seriously, if you're not gonna do stuff, then I will rise up to the occasion, and I'm gonna do this. We're gonna have gameplay on the channel, and you know what? We're gonna have a ton of other stuff that's gonna happen way long in the future. You just wait. There's stuff you can't even fathom.
I don't know any of this, so...
Yeah, because he didn't want to be involved in... We literally had a conversation where I was like, I want to do more with this channel. He was like, okay, as long as I don't have to do any of it.
It's true. I mean, it's not my... not my commitment. No, it's just not my commitment. It's not my commitment. I have my own commitment.
You can't even post your friends' streams. The streams you do with your friends.
Why would I post that?
I don't know. Content.
It's not my stream. When I stream,
don't people do like streams and they'll post like their different perspectives on YouTube?
Yeah, and there's only one perspective, and it's my friend who streams. So, Anyways.
When are you going to stream?
To be determined, but probably...
He's got a LaCroix sponsorship.
That... Okay.
He's just waiting.
Uh-huh.
LaCroix and Funyun. Any final words, Jason?
I was assuming that was the end, and then this is like the after card thing.
We still do
I don't know how you concept. What is it?
I don't know. Now is the chance to reinvent ourselves.
Different format. Well, I still think the after card is still good. I mean, rebranding aside, this is still like a thing that a lot of videos have.
Yeah, you gotta have some tradition. I'm gonna throw in some bells and whistles somewhere in here. I don't know. I guess you'll see tomorrow.
Peace out.
Peace and good fortune to you, good viewer.
Shut up.